Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope this is working. Please let me know in the chat if there's any problems with like volume levels and things like that. I've had a bit of a kind of play with the settings on OBS and I'm hoping you'll be able to hear me a little bit better. But if it's too loud or anything like that, do let me know. I'll just give it a couple of minutes just for the stream to sort itself out and whatnot. Mr. Bin a Banana? Bin a Banana. Sounds good to me. Splendid. As I say, that I've got kind of new settings for the sound and everything. So if anything, if the game volume's too loud or if I'm too loud or anything, then do let me know. But hopefully it'll be fine. So, how is everyone? Let me know in the comments how you're doing. I hope you're surviving these slightly unusual times at the minute. I was hoping to do a live stream a couple of days ago and potentially yesterday, but I've had a bit of a problem that I'll tell you about later on. I'll get going with some jobs and then I'll tell you that little kind of story thing later. So today, if you were on the live stream, I think, did I do one on Sunday? On the last one I was busy doing lots of baling and I've got one more field I need to bale, so I'm gonna get that done now, and then I'm gonna probably fast forward time a bit. I could do with some lights. Oops. And then I can't like drive tractors and talk at the same time, so just bear with me. Using the big square baler on this one, which I've hired this one. So if you're not familiar, we're on the Greenwich Valley map in Farming Simulator 2019, Farming Simulator 19. And I haven't done any full videos of this map yet. I've only live streamed it, so you're getting a bit of a sneak peek of stuff that's going to end up happening on the channel later on. Let me just get going with this baler. I'm going to get this baling done this evening because I'm hiring this baler. I don't want to have to pay for higher costs for an extra day. So I'm going to get this done and then I'm going to fast forward time a little bit so that we're not doing all our farming in the dicky dark. The reason I'm using a square baler for this is just because I don't need to wrap the bales. I own the silage baler that wraps the bales in plastic automatically, but for the straw I don't need to wrap it, and the round baler that does the wrapping is much slower than the square baler that doesn't do the wrapping. So since I don't need to do the wrapping, I've hired a square baler for this Unfortunately, the square balers are quite expensive, so I would like to buy one at some point. But at the minute, I'm just hiring one for the sake of getting these fields done. Who we got on? We've got Malcolm. Hi, Malcolm. And Spence. Hiya, Spence. And Mr. Bin Banana. I'm trying to read the screen while driving a tractor. And we've got a few others on as well. As I say, do shout out if the audio levels aren't right, because I am using some different settings at the minute. I'm a bit of a novice at the whole live streaming thing, as you've probably guessed. But I'm gradually getting the hang of it. As I say, I'll get this job done, and then I can chat more once I've got a helper going on things. But yeah, I can't set a helper to do the baling. I've got to do it myself. Slightly more interesting view of the baler. There we go. Do I play any other games? Spencer's asking. No, I try to avoid gaming because I get seriously addicted to games when I start playing them, so I generally avoid them. But I ended up getting into Farming Sim because my son was quite into it, and now he's mainly playing like Arma 3 and DCS and quite a lot of flight sim related games. But honestly, that would be the end of me doing any work if I did that. So Farming Sim, I find, is just a great way to relax and switch off, and normally I play it late at night before going to bed, and it helps us get to sleep because it's a very relaxing game to play. I'm sure you're aware if you've played it. I used to play Minecraft a lot. Again, it tends to be games that my kids play, and then they'll get us into it, and then they'll nick off and start playing something else, and then I'm left playing it on my Todd. So I used to find, if I couldn't get to sleep at night, Minecraft was just fantastic for just switching off to and just building some random stuff. So yeah, I used to, and that was on PlayStation. Now, this Farming Sim's pretty much the only game I play at the minute. If you've got any good suggestions for games, do let me know. But as I say, I have to be careful. I'll lose my life playing computer games. Not enough hours in the day. EVE Online, Spence. Yeah, again, my son started looking at that. Was it EVE Online? I think it was, and it looked amazing. Again, I would lose my life if I started playing a game like that. That would be it. Might as well just resign myself to being plugged into the Matrix 24/7. Go for the whole VR thing. But yeah, Farming Sim, it's amazing. It's a good balance of kind of switching off from the real world and just chilling out and just like not thinking about stuff, and your mind can enter a kind of zen state. And it's a good balance between that and then you do have to think about certain mentioned before about land to buy and your profits on various crops and what to plant in what order and what equipment to buy. So you do have to put some thought into it. So it's a good balance between like not being ridiculously boring, but also being a good game that you can just kind of switch off to, I find. And you can play it online as well, of course. It's wouldn't quite describe it as an MMO. I don't know. Would you say Farming Sim's an MMO? You can do great big games, but it's not like your EVE Online thing where you've got like 100,000 players on at the same time. I think you can do smallish online games on Farming Sim. So, my plans here. I've got this field to bale. Got this straw to bale on this field, and then, as I say, I'm going to fast forward to the next day, so that don't judge my reversing skills. Then we'll get all these bales collected. I don't think straw's at a particularly good price at the minute, so I'll probably not be selling it quite yet, but let's see. By the time it's the next morning, we'll check the price of straw and we'll see if it's going to be worth selling them or hanging on to them. Why Animation Creations asking why I'm streaming on YouTube and not Twitch. I've never tried Twitch in my life. I don't even know what it is. This is my third ever live stream in my entire life. So at the minute I'm just kind of getting the hang of things. I'm kind of getting there. I think we've vaguely got audio issues sorted out. And then if things work out, I'll probably try and get Streamlabs set up so I can include your chat comments on the screen and all that. But one step at a time. I might even set the webcam up. I don't know. I don't want to take up too much of the screen with my ugly mutt. We'll just kind of keep it as a game at the minute. But yeah, I am thinking of maybe trying Twitch at some point, but having haven't even been on the Twitch website, I couldn't even tell you what it looks like. So I think I need to have a look at how it works, and then might do that. I don't know, what's the benefit of Twitch over YouTube? What's the difference? You'll have to let me know in the chat. Am I playing with a controller? Yes. Well, I'm using steering wheel and pedals. That is one thing I was going to say with Farming Sim. It's really hard to control if you haven't got a wheel. You can attempt to control it with... I mean, if you're playing on a console, it's probably vaguely easier to do it with like a gamepad, like just a normal controller, console controller thing. But you really need a steering wheel and pedals. Trying to do this with a keyboard, forget it. I've tried. It's a nightmare. How does progression work in Farming Sim? Do you buy... I'm trying to read while driving. Do you buy new and bigger farms? Yeah, basically, the way progression works on Farming Sim, you can start off the game in 3 different ways. You can either start with, like, nothing, or you can start... Sorry, from the easiest, you can start with, like, some land and some equipment and a pot of cash, and to me that's a little bit too easy way of starting it. So you can do it that way, or you can start with some money, but like nothing, no land or anything like that, or you can start with like literally nothing and play in like ridiculously hard mode. And I play it in the farm manager mode, which is kind of your middle ground mode, where you start with a bit of money, you can take out a loan, You can buy some fields and you can buy equipment, but you have to decide. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. My PC blue screened. This happened the other night. Anyone who wants to do some blue screen research, it's in a file called ndis.sys. Whatever that does. ndis.sys is causing my machine to blue screen. My machine never blue screens. I've had this machine for like 7 years, and it's only blue screening during live streams for some reason, which is typical. Oh, that's annoying. I hope I've not... I bet I've lost where I was. Oh, I've lost... God damn it. Never mind. Right, let's go and do all this again. Sorry, folks. Sod's law. I'm going to have to like save more often, I think. Who forgot? Is this all working okay? I hope you can hear us. Let me know. Some lights on. Something to do with the network. That doesn't surprise me one bit. I am through a wired connection. I wonder if it's overloading a dodgy nick or something. What am I doing? I am baling this field again. I have got a spare nick that I could put in this machine. I guess this is a consequence of using a 7-year-old machine and using the onboard nick. Because I bet those drivers are like massively out of date and probably aren't getting updated anymore. I would almost guarantee it's something to do with that, because I'm using the onboard nick on the motherboard. So I do have a spare network card. I shall fit that before the next live stream, and hopefully that'll fix the blue screening problem. Thank you, Animation Creations, for checking that out for us. Hope it doesn't keep doing it. Ronnie Dodds, hello! Welcome to the live stream. Sorry, I hope you didn't get cut. Ronnie, I can't remember. Are you the person who drives a tractor in real life? Let us know in the chat. Name rings a bell, but I can't quite remember. I've got the memory of a goldfish. Animations Creations asking if it's gone again. No, it's fine at the minute. I don't know if you've been disconnected from the stream or anything. Stream health is all looking good at this end, so I don't think it's me this time, for once. Keeps cutting out. Is the whole stream cutting out, or just the audio, or what's cutting out? Tell you what I shall do, I can put to the test my little be right back thing. I'm just going to check if the kids happen to be hammering the internet, because that is a real possibility. Just give me 2 seconds. Hello, 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 I'm back. One and only time the internet's not getting hammered at our end, so don't. Obviously the blue screen was definitely my fault. But the stream health is saying excellent at the minute, so I don't think, if you're getting dropouts, I don't think it's at my end. Could just be a YouTube thing. Let me just save. I'm paranoid. Now, there's a reasonable chance that my son's going to join this game. We shall see. If he can get connected. It was a whole stream, it was just... so it was buffering. Ronnie, you've just said it cut out when I said your name. Ronnie, I said hello, and I mentioned, can't remember. Do you drive a tractor in real life? The John Deere. I'm sure it's the same person. Just let us know. ISP, yeah, it's Talk, they're hopeless. That's, yeah. Could well be Talk. So, I was saying before, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this field baled, and then I'm going to fast forward time a bit, because I don't want to do all me farming at night time. You can't really see what's going on. But I don't want to pay for the baler for an extra day because I'm too tight. So I'm hiring this baler at the minute, and if I let it go past midnight, I think I'll get charged for an extra day, and I only need it to finish this field, so I would rather not do that. Geordie tight, yeah. So yeah, I was talking about steering wheels before. So I'm using an ancient Logitech Driving Force Pro steering wheel for this, which we originally had it for our ancient PlayStation. And now I've claimed it because it wasn't getting used for anything. And it's a bit noisy, that's the only problem, but it works absolutely fine. And you can pick them up dead cheap on eBay. I had a quick look on eBay the other day, and they were going for 20 quid, 30 quid or something. If you're buying a new steering wheel and pedals, you're probably going to be looking close at 100, 150, depending on what you're going for. But if you are wanting to get into this game and you're after a steering wheel and pedals, then just check out on eBay. They always get sold pretty cheap, and as I say, I'm just using a Driving Force Pro, does the job. But trying to play this game, honestly, I tried it, playing it on keyboard, and yeah, it's nigh on impossible. Although I suppose it depends how much of a gamer you are. If you're a PC gamer who regularly plays just using the keyboard, you're probably so used to it that it wouldn't bother you, but I couldn't do it. Ronnie, you just said yes. So Ronnie, it is you who drives the tractor. I thought it was. And you're driving one at the minute. That is absolutely awesome. You're streaming it on the iPad. What are you in, Ronnie? Tell us what sort of tractor you're in. I know it's a John Deere, but tell us what type. I'll see if I can find it. I'll not be able to afford it, but I might be able to hire one. And get the same tractor that you're driving. Let us know what you're doing as well, Ronnie. What jobs, actual real life jobs, are you getting done? Oh, yeah, animation creation. You're mentioning City Skylines again. My son showed us that. Is that the one where you do all the road design and everything? I think if it's the one I'm thinking of, it looks ridiculously addictive. I could get so into that game. If it's the one I'm thinking of, where you have to basically plan the city, that's right up my street. Gonna save. So paranoid. So if you get disconnected from the stream, it takes us about, well, to be honest, the longest part is waiting for the blue screen to write its memory dump. So if you do get disconnected, just assume my PC has blue screened again and just reconnect in 5 minutes. Hopefully, touch wood, maybe it'll behave. Tempting fate now. City Skylines, yeah. You're saying you played it for 6 hours straight. It looks a crazily addictive game, that. For those who don't know what City Skylines is, look it up on YouTube. It's basically a kind of city planning game where you build all the roads and everything, and you have to plan the layout of the city and put the correct junctions in so that the traffic doesn't... Oh god, it's so geeky, but it's right up my street, that sort of game. But it looks really impressive, like the graphics and everything are really impressive. Bad enough with Farming Simulator. I dread to think what would happen if I started on a game like that. A little bit. I just dumped a bale right in that hedge. No, yes. Okay, fine. Have I done this field? Chatting away, totally not been paying attention to what I'm doing. Let me just switch the baler off. The circuit of this field. And if so, we can fast forward time. And I'm 56% on it. I don't think I'm going to be enough to fill it up. Let's see if I can get these little dregs. 58%. I don't stand a chance of getting a whole bale out of this. So Ronnie, you are in 6155R. Let me see if it's in the game. 61, is that a medium size? I can't remember. You'll probably know better than me whether or not this is in the game. 6230. Was it that last one that I looked at? Doesn't tell you what that is. Oh, that's a 6135M. This one. Don't think we've got 6155R. I don't think. Got a 6230 or a 6250. A smaller one, isn't it? Oh, there isn't a John Deere there. Let's have a look. And that's a 7 Series. Yeah, I bet it's available as a mod. Can't afford it anyway. So, just quickly checking if I can get rid of this baler. I think I've done the whole field. That's why I hate doing it at night, because you miss bits. Right, let's dump these bales. Done. Save. Right, I can get rid of that baler. And I'll just go and park this up, and then we'll fast forward to tomorrow. Just while I'm fast forwarding, I'm just going to keep an eye on the prices, just in case anything starts going at a really good price. We drive into the town while we're waiting. Drive into the village. It's so dark. So at least you're not then just looking at a pitch black screen while we're waiting on time to fast forward a bit. I meant mixer out at this time. What? Park up somewhere. Skip. Should we go to the garage? I could do with some fuel anyway, so... Garage. It's an essential journey, Governor. Right, so 11 o'clock at night. Let's just check prices. Let's see what's happening. Oat, not great. I've got loads of oat in the silo, you see. So oat's not at an amazing price, so that's fine. Oh no, I thought it was straw going up. It's not. Straw's going down, so I'm not bothered about that. Silage is at a terrible price, so I'm not bothered about that. That's fine. Just let time fast forward for a bit, and I can catch up on comments. Let's have a look. So Ronnie Defo, there's Defo 1 on there. I've used it in the game before. A 6155. I'm using a dribble bar, spreading liquid manure. We've been busy drilling wheat and maize and grass seeds. Oh wow, fantastic! I think it's absolutely awesome that you A, play Farming Simulator and you do farming in real life, and B, that you're watching a Farming Simulator live stream while driving a real tractor doing actual real life, like, important farming. Good work, Ronnie. You're keeping the country running at the minute. Well, you do all the time, I suppose. Make sure you don't get caught out by the hedge physics again. Yeah. I did return that Bale, didn't I? Or maybe they don't. It's probably the 250 I've used on the game. Yeah, possibly. Unless, I don't know, are you on a different platform, Ronnie? If you're doing the mobile version, is that 2020 that you're playing? If you're on the mobile version, that might have some extra machines on. I'm not sure. Because this is a Farming Simulator 19. Is that the steering wheel making that squeaking? The steering wheel makes that noise. I don't know if you can hear it. So that's the steering wheel making that noise. Right, 4:20 in the morning. Starting to brighten up. Oh, is that the moon over there? Head back to the farm anyway. Yeah, so that's the only thing with this, oops, wrong side of the road. That's the only thing with this wheel. It's a bit noisy. Newer wheels aren't as noisy as this. It's because of the force feedback, and you don't need force feedback on a game like this. So, where am I? So I would strongly, because I've just got the force feedback completely completely switched off. You really don't need it. You want nice kind of loose steering anyway. Oh God, going the wrong way. Chatting while driving. Seven o'clock in the morning, bit of a cloudy start. Now, I've got this grass field to bale, but I think what I'm going to do is collect up all these straw bales. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a square bale auto-loading trailer, I think. Wish I could set a helper away doing this baling, because I've got a load of silage. Haylage? Would it get called haylage? Grass silage to bale up for this field. But, right, let's buy square bale auto-loading trailer, because that'll be much easier. Let's have a look. So, 8 bales is no use. 12 bales on that one. You go for the really big, yeah, those ones are like ridiculously 170 bales. What? What's going on there? 170 bales. 16 and 170. No idea what's going on there. Look at that, 130 bales. Interesting. Don't know why it says that. That's 18 bales. That's 12 bales, and that's 130 bales. Obviously, you can't get 130 bales on that. 18. Oh. Someone tell us. I don't want to go for the really long trailer because it's really awkward to get down and into the barn sale point. It's too big. So I think I'm just going to go for... I'm not going to do this 130 one. I don't understand what's going on there. I'm just going to go for this 18. Yeah, I'll go for that. And, of course, we're going to customize it. Case red. Case red wheel. Oh, no. Case red wheels as well. Oh, actually, I'm never going to remember which one's for the square bales and which is for the round if I do that. Let's make the square one. What colour should we go for? How come the one that says small can hold... I have no idea why one of them is saying that... by small, it's kind of the length of the trailer, because there's a small, medium and large trailer, and it's the length of the trailer. And then it seems... This is a mod, this trailer, so it's a bit weird how it works. But I've no idea why it's saying it can hold 130 bales. That makes no sense. So, what am I going to do? Pick a colour that I'll hopefully remember that this is for the square bales. What colour should we go for? Quite like the black. Go for the black. That'll do. Right. Auto loading. Should we go for a black chassis as well? Let's have a look. That looks pretty cool. Let's do that. Buy it. Go. Yes. Go. Hopefully I've bought the right one. Right. Let's head and pick this up. I think we've got a vote for pink and a vote for yellow. Sorry, I didn't get it in time. One for black. There she is, look at that. Stunning. Oh, lordy, I forgot to stop fast forwarding time. Oh, what a nana. Never mind. I'll best check the prices again. Oat. Oat's at a really good price at Whitney Grain. Right, I need to sell this oat. And silage and straw. No, that's not a great price, but I need to sell this oat. That's a really good price at the minute. Where's Whitney Grain? Whitney Grain. It's miles away. Okay, right, let's take this back. Think of that. Have I got oat? I'm sure I've got oat. Oh, I'm looking at canola. Oh. Oh. Yeah, okay. Ignore me. Oh well, that's fine. Now, I'm assuming this trailer's not going to work on round bales. More square bales. I'm going to pick some of these up. Hey, it's working. Ronnie, I bet you could do this in real life. I'm going to leave that grass bale there for the minute. It's because... Can I get this one through hedges? Let's just see. Can. That's weird. It's just the baler with straw bales on can't go through hedges, but the straw on a trailer can. As I say, hedges can be a bit weird in this game sometimes. You can drive a combine harvester through, but you can't drive the header of a combine harvester through, as I found out the awkward way. Assuming that's at full, yeah. Dump these. Let's go here for now. Can't believe I forgot to stop fast forwarding time. What a numpty. I've done this whole field. Oh, one more. One more up there. All of them for this field. In case you're wondering how to use these... Oh, I must stop cutting across this field. In case you're wondering how to use the auto-loading bale trailer, if you've never used one before, as I say, it is a mod, but you can imagine how long it would take to load up all these bales if I didn't have this. But, in case you're wondering, what you do is, once you've got it kind of vaguely where you want to drop them off, you press Y on the keyboard, and then you hold down your left mouse button, and while you're holding it down you can left and right moves the bales left and right, and up and down moves them up and down, so you kind of drag them down to floor level, and then you can actually, if you've got pedals, move your tractor so you can get the bales really kind of close to each other. And then once you've got them in the right place, then you let go of the mouse and you press Y, and then that's it. Be careful you don't put your trailer into loading mode while it's there, because it'll just pick up the bales that you've literally just put down. So, animation creation, you were saying that Twitch, you mentioned something about Twitch and it's disappeared off the screen. I can't see what it says now. If I scroll down on your comments, it cuts the game audio off. I haven't worked out a way of coming out of the game, like go into YouTube and stuff without it. Can't find any way of getting it to leave the audio of the game playing in the background. It just doesn't seem to be a thing. Again, if anyone knows how to do that, let me know, because I'm new to this streaming lark. Who else have we got on? Let us know in the comments how you're all doing anyway. Are you surviving the lockdown? Or are you at work? Have you been furloughed? Broadcast latency on Twitch is only 2 to 3 seconds compared to 20. Ah, see. Yeah, because the latency on YouTube's huge. Yeah, I will be giving Twitch a try at some point. I'll, as I say, this is only my third ever attempt at doing the whole live stream thing. So I think what I'll do, I'll try and get this network card problem sorted out. Hopefully that'll fix the whole blue screening problem. Which reminds me, that saved it. Feels like lockdown's the norm now. Matthew, yeah, I know what you mean. I think this is going to last for a long time. I don't see how they can take the risk of taking the foot off the pedal. If I think there'll be certain industries that'll come out of lockdown, but I think there's other things like restaurants and pubs and cafes and cinemas and all that. I think they're gonna be shut for a long time. I think. Might be wrong. I hope I am wrong, but that's my general feel at the minute. Malcolm! Hiya, Malcolm. Did I say hello before? I can't remember. It might have been when we got cut off. Malcolm's retired right now. Oops. Sorry, trying to read comments while driving. Where am I? Malcolm's retired, loving the tranquility plus catching up on all the jobs and a workshop build. Awesome. Where am I? What's over there? Keep looking at the comments and losing where I am. Yeah. And I'm going to have so many bales to sell. I think I miss most. It's a pub quiz. Oops. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, me and my mates, we're just kind of all keeping in touch on like WhatsApp and, well, WhatsApp really. That works. Oops, I'm sure I switched it on. That's really good, but yeah, it's no substitute for actually just going out and catching up with your mates and stuff. Get that bale on the way back. Not doing this field in the most efficient manner because I'm distracted. I'm kind of driving while reading the screen. Matthew, enjoy your dinner. We're having a late tea later on. Animation creation, you're saying you spent 3 hours on a video call the other night. That's fantastic. With your mates. And you were hosting the quiz. Awesome. But yeah, it's not the same. So many bales. But the sell point is just over to the left there, just behind where my mowers are, over there, behind that concrete thing. And it's a nightmare to get in and out of. So unfortunately this is about the biggest Bale trailer that you can get away with. And even then you need to do some nifty reversing to get in. If your friend's birthday is at the weekend and you're going to do a bake a cake on a video call animation creation, well, happy birthday to your friends at the weekend. I hope you enjoy it. Malcolm, yeah, hopefully we're all in good health. I think it's interesting because I was thinking about this the other day. If we're all being so sanitary, I mean, it could work both ways, but if we're all being, like, sanitising things to the nth degree and we're not socialising, does it potentially mean that really, like, things like the common cold might end up, well, I doubt it's going to die out, but I wonder if things like that could end up really diminishing because it's just not getting spread around. Field done. I think we've done all of those fields. But yeah, on the flip side, are our bodies going to get used to overly sanitised environments, and is that a good thing? I'm not entirely sure. What will be, will be. Oops. Right, we'll head round to this big field, get all these. Oh, lordy. Gonna take a while. Oops. Oh, can get one of these. Start a new row, I think. So pleased you can drive through hedges. Let's go. Shame straw bales don't sell for more, because a lot of bales here. I've mentioned before, if you want to make money from baling, then silage, plastic wrapped bales is the way to go. You'll get up to about £1,600 per bale. I'd love to know what they go for in real life. What a silage bale, like a round silage bale, goes for. Can't be 1,600 quid, surely. Oops. Love to get the correct number of bales for this to be complete this field. I'm not sure. Oh no, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Oh man, missed it. I'm too short. Too short. I think that's it for this field, isn't it? Yeah. We're done. So yeah, animation creation, you were saying one of my friends is a germaphobe and constantly gets ill, whereas I generally don't care about washing my hands before eating, etc. and never get ill. Yeah, oh, what's happened? Oh no, I forgot to switch it off. I've got a bale stuck in mid-air. Okay. We'll just kind of leave that there. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm not particularly overly bothered about washing my hands like all the time. Obviously, after you've been to the loo and stuff like that is a given, but I think there's something to be said for not being overly sanitary. overly sanitised. Is that the word? Anyway. Look at that. I quite like these new trailers. Right, so I need the round one now. Oh, why aren't you waiting? I switched it on. Go. I think I'll put these ones. Yeah, I'll just start a new row for these. I wonder if I can pick up that one bale. Tell you another game that I could very easily get ridiculously addicted to, and that is Elite Dangerous. Again, introduced to that game via... Well, I used to play the original Elite back in the day when it was wireframe black and white graphics. Giving my age away. So I used to play it back in the day, and then my son started playing it, and now it looks basically real. I've never played the new version, but I used to play the old version. How long ago would that be? 30 years ago, maybe? Oh, probably longer than that. Probably 35 years ago? The original Elite? At a guess? I've been 45 now, so would that be 10? Maybe a bit older than 10. I reckon about 33 years ago. Look at that Bale. Is that all the round bales? I thought there was more than that. Is it? Right, this time I'll remember to switch it off before driving up those bales. It's a lot of straw. price of straw. It's going up, 70, but it should go way higher than that. Silage is going up. Maybe I need to get the silage field baled. Oh, it's still not bad. It does go a bit higher than that, so I'll leave that for now. I think what I'm going to do... actually, I spotted a bale in a hedge over here before. Is that a silage bale over there? I spotted a rogue silage bale. I'm just going to leave that on the trailer for now. Let's just switch this off so it doesn't start picking things up. Right, I guess I'll start baling that big field. Oh, it's going to take a long time. We won't. This is going to take a while. Probably not do the whole field tonight because this can take forever. You can't pay a helper to do it, unfortunately. Bit evening baling. So this is the, I think it's the 3135 Coon. And it's the auto wrapper, the baler, silage baler. So, let's get this done. Ridiculously high yield here. 1984 for elite, so 1984. I must have been older than 9. Yeah, okay. Either way, quite a long time ago. Play that on Amstrad. Amstrad CPC 464 back in the day. Any of my older viewers? Someone's just had a takeaway delivered. No, it is. We haven't had a takeaway since the lockdown started. We might have to change that. You've planted the seed now. So for those playing along at home, for those who play Farming Simulator, so what we're doing here is we are baling the grass and automatically wrapping it all in one go, which is great because each one of those silage bales can sell for quite a lot of money, so it's a good way of making money on the game. The downside is that you can't set a helper away doing this, so it's a bit of a manual process. And you can't just put your foot on the pedal and let it go. You've got to stop and empty the baler every time it gets full. So I can't move on at the minute until that little door shuts, and then I can get going again. So there we go, that shuts. So you have to keep stopping and starting. Now the alternative to this is to do square bales, but then you need to buy or hire a separate bale wrapper. So it swings and roundabouts. I don't think there's much in it. Rob, good evening. Finally got up in time to make the live show. Fantastic. Well, the live show, Rob. Hope you're doing well. Let us know if you're still at work or if you're furloughed or what's happening. Very strange situation at the minute, obviously. Our house move is still progressing at a snail's pace. Obviously everything's just going really slowly because of the lockdown, but hopefully it'll happen. Well, as soon as there's some definite news, I'll let you know. We're going to be moving into a rental property. Obviously, if you've seen the video on the Gosforth Handyman channel, you'll have seen my workshop's completely cleared down now, and I'm workshopless, and it's all in storage, which we can't get to because it doesn't class as an essential journey. It's a bit of a grey area that I'm not sure what the official line would be on that. I suppose if it was for something really urgent, you could probably talk your way out of it. But either way, I don't need to go to the storage thing anyway, so I'm not particularly bothered. But I am workshopless. As I say, I do have a couple of videos I want to get out on the Gosforth Handyman channel before we move, but I'm not in any rush to get those out because then I'm going to be kind of lacking content on that channel, so things are a bit quiet on there. But I am working on quite a few projects behind the scenes at the minute. As you may or may not be aware, I play the drums, and I've got a couple of drumming related websites. One of them's Beginner Drums, another site called Drum 101, drum101.com, and that site's just kind of sat there, and I haven't done very much with it for a long time. I figured now was the perfect time during the lockdown to actually pull my finger out and sort that site out. So watch this space. There's not a lot to tell you about at the minute, but I'll let you know once it's all finished what that is going to be. That's been a project in the making for about 9 years now or something. I think I can't remember when I even started that. A long time ago. It all went on hold because there just wasn't enough money in it, unfortunately. All the drum shops and everything are struggling these days. Bale's stuck. Around there. What you don't want to do when you're baling is to put the bale down on bits that you haven't collected yet. What area are we moving to? We are staying in Gosforth, so it'll still be Gosforth. We're just moving. We moved into a new build when the kids were young because it just made life easy. But over the years, we've predominantly lived in older properties and done a lot of renovation projects over the years. But when the kids were young, we figured it would be easier to live in a house that doesn't really need anything doing to it. And to be honest, that's worked really, really well. But now the kids are getting a bit older, and we figured, well, we're just dying to do another renovation, basically. There's nothing to do in our current property. It just doesn't need any work doing, and doesn't need extending or anything like that. So we are just going to be staying local, but moving into, hopefully, a renovation project. But in order for that to work, because the renovation that we're looking at, or potentially looking at, is going to need an enormous amount of work doing to it. so it won't be livable until, at least until some of the groundwork's done on the property. Things like central heating, rewiring, extension, complete remodel, basically. Full works needs doing, and that's going to take a little while, and it's going to be much easier to do that if we're not living in the property at the time. So we'll be moving into a rental property for 6 months or so, and that's while we'll make a start on the renovation, and then once the property's vaguely livable, then we'll move into it. But watch this space on Gosforth Handyman. I will let you know what's happening on that project on the Gosforth Handyman channel. There's nothing to report yet, but as soon as there is, you'll find out over there. Because I will be filming every stage of the renovation, from start to end. I will be covering off the full renovation project, from the garden through to the house itself. Well, that's the plan anyway. I'm just in this kind of slightly awkward limbo stage at the minute where we're just waiting on stuff to happen, and because of the lockdown it's taking forever. Oh, so Rob, you're in New Zealand. Great excitement here in New Zealand as takeaways will be available from next Tuesday. Is he moving down the level in severity? Yeah, New Zealand have done really well on this, haven't you? So I've read a couple of reports that New Zealand seem to have handled this really well. I think we'll be in lockdown for a good while yet. But takeaways are actually open, amazingly. It's one of the few things that are open. I think they're leaving it down to the individual takeaway, as long as you do the whole social distancing thing. So takeaways are, but a lot of takeaways have closed because they can't. I think they struggle to get the ingredients in or something. One of our local Chinese takeaways, they can't. I think they mentioned they can't get bean sprouts in or something. I can't remember. They are an awesome takeaway. Oh man, I'm getting hungry just talking about it. They did shut briefly for a period of time, and I think they've reopened, but from what I've heard, the demand is so high they can only open for a couple of hours and then they're having to shut again. As you can see, doing this field's going to take a long time. What time is it in New Zealand at the minute, Rob? Let us know. Must be like early. It's not early morning, is it? I'm not sure. We're close to game time here. In the UK, it is 8:05. So game time. Could fast forward time and get it to go on. Let's fast forward time and get it to exactly game time. Get the game time to match real time. I might as well. It's close enough. Be careful not to go past. 7:58. When is it? 5 past. Oh. One more minute. Go. Right, game time matches real time now. Oh, can't see anything. (7:05 AM). Oh wow, yeah, I thought it must be early there. So is that 7:05 Wednesday or 7:05 Thursday then? Are you 12 hours ahead or 12 hours behind? I've literally no idea. think it's Wednesday here, but all because of the lockdown, all the days are just blending into one. Anyway, I'm losing track of what day it is. Pretty sure it's Wednesday. Can I make this? Oh look, I can get it a bit brighter. Animation creation, you're saying you're supposed to move into a new house. We've had it for 2 years. On the 1st of April, but that didn't turn out. Oh no! You're supposed to finally move into a new house, but you've had it for 2 years. I don't understand. Let us know what's happened. It is awkward at the minute. I think we can move as long as it's into a vacant property, which we will be, so that's fine. I don't think you're allowed to do a move that's part of a chain at the minute, where literally you would be one person moving out and the next person moving in straight away. I don't think you can do that at the minute. You're supposed to delay it until the lockdown's over. But because we'll be moving into a vacant rental, and our property will then remain vacant until the new people move in, like a few weeks after or whatever. I think that's fine. Just not really allowed to do the whole same day move thing. But we're far enough down the line on the sale that it shouldn't cause too much of a problem. It's just everything's taken forever to actually happen. $7:05 Thursday. Okay, so you're 12 hours ahead. That's cool. What am I going to do? Let's do a row, skip a row, I think. I can't quite get the turning circle. Zoom in a bit so you can see a bit more what's going on. If the game volume's too loud, just let us know, by the way. Empty that Bale. It's completely lost track of days and time. Yeah, totally. Our kids are obviously homeschooling, and we are keeping a routine going for the kids, because otherwise, literally, there's no difference between weekends and weekdays. So we're trying to keep through the week as being school time, and the online stuff for the kids is amazing. They've got a full online learning thing, and like a national, it's called the Oak Learning Academy or something, I can't remember, but it's a national video-based learning platform for the kids, and absolutely amazing. And then they've got their own school online platforms that they use for homeworks and all of that, and honestly, yeah. Schools, more or less, even though they're at home. I mean, obviously there's certain lessons that don't happen, but the learning's not really suffering. I don't think. Amazing Mrs. Mac is distracted, and oops. Yeah, the amazing, my amazing wife is doing most of the homeschooling stuff. She's really on the ball with that, and keeps at it with the kids to make sure that they're doing all the work that has been set. But the teachers are great. The teachers have set loads of work on all the platforms that they need to get on with. If they get stuck on anything, I think they can email them or send them electronic messages if they get stuck. As I say, they've got the online learning academy now, the national online one, and this is what makes me think the lockdown's going to last a lot longer than people possibly think it's going to last, because to get that learning academy only went live on Monday, 2 days ago. And it's huge. I mean, it's a full... Anyone can access it. You can, if you search for Oak... I can't remember what it's called. Oak something Learning Academy or whatever. And you'll see, to put something like that together, you don't do that if it's not going to get used for a reasonable amount of time. Malcolm, don't think I'll ever play this, but it's sure therapeutic to sit on your shoulder and experience it. Yeah, honestly, it's so relaxing, this game. It's ridiculously relaxing. As I say, I play it if I just can't get to sleep at night. If I've had a busy day and you just need to unwind and switch off, it's the perfect game for it. It's the perfect kind of balance between relaxing and not being boring. Like this sort of job, the baling, you just have to kind of plod on with it. I wouldn't normally do... I normally try and limit myself to maybe an hour or two at any one time. How long's this stream been going? The stream's been going for... doesn't tell me anywhere. No idea. Oh, 1 hour 40. Okay. We'll keep this going for a good couple of hours, I think. Yeah, baling a field, quite a big field like this, especially when you've got quite a high yield on the grass, takes a long time. The house needed a lot of work doing to it, so I've been living with family for the last 2 years. Ah, right. More baling and I'll read the rest of that comment. So yeah, animation creation, you're just saying that the house... Okay, so presumably a renovation of some description. You wanted to move in before April because the council tax increases after 2 years. Vacant... Ah, okay. Luckily it hasn't actually increased. It's down in Bishop, currently in Gateshead. Rather not risk doing the 30-mile journey to take stuff down. Yeah, especially if it's going to be... Yeah, it's tricky. I think you're allowed to, though. If it's a vacant property and it classes as a house move, I think... Read up on it, because I think you are allowed to do that, but... Not sure. Not sure where you sit on that one. As you say, you don't want to get in trouble or anything. The hardest thing is you can't get removal companies at the minute, but I think you can still hire vans. I did check that van hire places do still seem to be operating. Save this for a while. I best save it. The prices. Oat. Not great. Silage is going up. Great. Straw's going up. We'll see what this silage goes to, because it'd be nice if we get to a decent silage price. Might have to turn the screen brightness up a bit. This is really hard to see. Especially, I wouldn't normally, but let's see if you can. Screen brightness. Staring at it. Or maybe there isn't a screen brightness. Nope, can't change the screen brightness. Never mind. Can't fast forward time too much either, because the silage price is at a really good price. So if I fast forward time all the way to the morning, there's a reasonable chance that the price might have gone back down by then. So I think we're just going to have to live with it being dark, I'm afraid. Unless anyone knows how to turn the screen brightness up in Farming Simulator. And police are being very strict. Yeah, some forces are handling things differently. Yeah, Northumbria police seem to have been fine. We've certainly never been pulled over, but. We've only been out to go to the shops. We've literally, that's it. Other than daily family walks. I wonder if I could drive this from a front view, just so you've got a slightly different thing to look at. Oh. This is going to be tricky. Driving it, looking at the front of the tractor. Which way am I going? Rob's saying perhaps there needs to be an option to hire floodlights. You can actually. Well, it's a mod. You can buy a floodlight mod. I haven't got that mod installed, I don't think. For that view. see where I'm going now. To go that way, I think. The trouble with farming at night, it's so hard to see where you've been. So yeah, anyway, I was going to mention earlier, I did start telling you this thing, and I got completely distracted when my computer blue screened. But I was going to do a live stream on Monday or Tuesday, and I've been completely... I'll not go into it in the gory details, but let's just say my ears aren't great, and generally every couple of years I need to get my ears syringed, and for the last couple of days I've been completely, I would say probably 80% deaf, because and I've been using eardrops and all that sort of thing, but they just don't work. And for the last, as I say, for the last 2 days I've been more or less completely deaf, and it's been awful. Because the problem is, when you've got that problem of your ears not behaving themselves, and because I've played the drums, well, for 30 odd years, since I was like 11 years old or something, since I've played drums for my whole life, I get quite bad tinnitus anyway. But generally only after, like, if I go to a loud concert or if I've been playing a gig or something like that, then I get quite bad tinnitus, and I do have earplugs, and I do now try and protect my hearing, but unfortunately, due to being a silly teenager and not protecting my hearing when I was younger, my hearing... I do tend to get quite bad tinnitus now. It goes away after a while, but when my ears are all blocked up and stuff, the tinnitus is horrific. It's like deafening, and I think it's just because of like pressure inside the ear. So I've not been sleeping particularly well, and it's quite painful, and apart from anything else, you're completely deaf. So trying to do a live stream, like trying to talk when you've got your fingers in your ears, basically trying to do a live stream in that situation. Do let us know in the comments if any of you guys have been using like Otex and all the usual suspects, and it is gradually getting better. But I would normally go to the doctors to get my ears syringed, but that's not an option at the minute. It's a non-essential appointment, so not a chance can I go and make use of the... Well, I think the doctors are completely closed for face-to-face appointments anyway, I think. But yes, so all good intentions of doing live stream... Sorry, I can't do two things at the same time. All good intentions of doing a live stream on Monday or Tuesday went out the window when I went completely deaf. But my hearing's a bit better now. I would say I'm probably back to having about 60% hearing now, maybe more. So it is getting better. So I suppose you could argue that it's a problem I could have just sorted out myself over all these years anyway, and been less of a burden on the NHS. But it is kind of sometimes when it gets really bad and you can't work because you can't speak to anyone because you do literally go completely deaf. It's awful. It tends to get worse when I'm doing a lot of dusty work. If I'm doing demolition work or I'm doing a lot of wood cutting in dusty environments, that tends to be when it flares up and I need to go to the doctors and get it sorted out. But not an option at the minute. Joys of being in your mid-40s. Yours is still open for face-to-face appointments, but they provide you with a face. Ah, right. I don't think ours is, unless they've reopened. Pretty sure it's completely shut for face-to-face. I've briefly mentioned before, this is the Greenwich Valley map on Farming Simulator 19. The Greenwich Valley map, it's amazing. It's my favourite map that I've played on so far. It's a mod map. It's not a map. It's not a map that comes with the game. It's a mod, but the mods are dead easy to install on Farming Sim. It's kind of an inbuilt function of the game. It's not. You don't have to get nerdy with it. Sometimes when good sometimes when good mods get developed, they end up becoming part of the game eventually. But there's loads of really impressive maps that people have put together, and this Greenwich Valley one is just stunning. Although you can't really see it at night. I hate doing this at night. You miss bits and you can't see where you've been. Let's head back this way. We've got a row here. Yeah, here we go. Right, it's 8:30 in the game now, so that means it's 8:30 in real life. I think what I'm going to do... Malcolm! Thanks for a great evening. Enjoyed yourself. Thank you for joining me, Malcolm. What I'm going to do... Let's fast forward a bit. I'm going to keep an eye on... You see the silage is at 352. If that starts going down, I'm going to have to stop fast forwarding time. Let's just dump this bale. Do a few more rows. I just need to keep checking that silage price. $358. You know what it is? $358. It's a good price, but it's not the best price, so I'm not bothered. I'm just gonna ignore that, and we'll keep an eye on this straw price because we've got a lot of straw to sell. That might go up into the high 90s with any luck, or it might just stay around 75. We shall see. But since the silage price hasn't done anything spectacular, I'm less concerned. We'll fast forward all the way to daytime so we can actually see what we're doing. Still got a £500,000 loan on this game, hence 2,800 interest that's coming out every day at the minute. We'll be paying that off at some point. Must keep an eye on the game time this time and actually not forget to stop fast forwarding time. Like I did last time, like a numpty. In the morning, game time. As I say, what I'm going to do, we'll get it so that it's actually daylight. I'm not going to do this whole field today because it's still a lot to do on it. But we'll get it. We'll fast forward just so it's daytime, so we can see how far we've got on, and then and we'll call it a day for today. So this stream's been going 2 hours now. $5 in the morning. Normally starts getting about 6 o'clock. It normally starts getting daylight in this game. So in this map, it depends on the map. Let's have a look. Where's the sun going to rise? There. If we head down this other row, we'll see the sunrise. birds. That's not a sunrise, that's the moon going down. Oh, there's the sun. All your other crops mature faster if you fast forward time. Yes, they do. So you have to keep an eye, because if you leave them too long, well, I've got crop withering switched on. You can switch crop withering off if you're going to be fast forwarding time a lot. I haven't got any other crops planted at the minute because I had all those straw bales to collect earlier on. But basically, your fields go through 3 stages of being harvestable, and then they wither, and you lose the entire crop. So, if you fast forward in time, you have to be a little bit careful if you've got crop withering switched on. So, 9 o'clock in the morning. Look at that. Bright and early. We'll switch our headlights off now. Okay. Right, I'm going to stop fast forwarding time. Go back to real time. And let's head over here. Let's see how far we've got on this field, because there's loads of rows I've missed because I couldn't see what I was doing. We'll start, I think, let's dump that bale. Do one more row. We'll do. Get stuck on a bale. Do this row. Try to do this row. Actually, wait for the baler to be ready. There. Do this row and then we'll call it a night. So it's been a pleasure to have your company again. Thank you for joining me. Watch this space for the next one. I'll do another one in a couple of days and just pick up where we've left off, get this field done. Actually, what I might do, I'll because it's a bit boring watching me just bale grass all the time. It's not very exciting. It takes a long time. So what I'll probably do is I'll bale the rest of this field, and then you can join me at the point where it's all baled and the bales are ready to pick up, and we'll do that in a couple of days, I think. So watch this space. I'll try and put out a thing on my Gosforth Handyman community chat to let you know when I'm doing a live stream, and I'll put it on. I might put it on Instagram. Instagram's a bit weird because. It's a bit random when the posts tend to go out on Instagram. You'll post something and then it won't start promoting it for 2 days. I'll just post it on the community thing on my Gosforth Handyman YouTube. If I'm doing a live stream, that's probably the easiest way of doing it. I'll try and give you a little bit notice, but we'll get this row done and then we'll call it a night. Next crop of grass will be almost ready. Rob's saying, yeah, this is ready to harvest. This is ready to mow. I'll show you if I hop out the tractor. You see, This grass actually goes through a few different stages, and once it's gone to seed like this, you can see it's got like the little grass seeds on. You get a much higher yield if you let it do that. Nerdy. Anyway, but yeah, that's ready to cut. Again, grass grows really quickly on this game, so it's a good way of doing the grass silage is a good way of making quite a lot of money on this game. The problem is that it takes forever, and you can't set a helper away doing the baling. But I'll get a lot of money from all these bales, so you will find out how much next time with any luck, as long as the silage is at a decent price. Did it ever go down in price? I can't remember. Let me check. I'll do this. Price. Oh, we're still at 358. If it stays at that, see, straw's only gone up to 75 quid, which isn't. It's okay. It's not brilliant, but straw will go up into the 90s. Silage, I've seen it go up to 400. That's 400 per 1,000 litres, and each one of these bales is 4,000 litres. So you can make quite a lot of money from silage. 358's okay. We shall see. Might take the gamble and see if we can get it a bit past 358. See if we can hold it out. Wait for it to go up a bit more. Can you not have a... Yeah, you can have a worker cutting the grass. A worker will cut the grass, and but I don't want to cut it while I've got the neat rows, because it'll not muck it up, but it'll just generally get in the road. But yeah, technically I could set a worker away now. But I would need this tractor because the little blue tractor's not powerful enough for the mowers, so I would need to switch tractors. So I'm just going to leave it, and I'll collect all this and then mow it again. But yeah, you could mow it now. Nothing to stop you, but other than my OCD for not mowing it while I've got all the neat rows of. After it's been windrowed. So, folks, I think that'll do for this evening. Thank you once again for joining me. Switch the tractor off. Let's have a look. We've still got a bale in that. Let's kick the bale out. Thank you once again for joining me, folks. It's been a pleasure. Watch this space. I shall see you next time. Take care. Bye.